On the control panel just above the habitation door, you've got your main power switch, you've got your awning light, you've got your switch to activate your water pump. You can just leave that on all the time when you're using the van. You've got your freshwater gauge, which you can see loading up there, it's 3/4 full. You've got your battery gauge, which is for your engine battery, which you can see there, and you've got your battery gauge for your leisure battery. So I've moved over to the fridge here now. So the main power switch is this little small rectangular button here, so you just hold this for a couple of seconds. So you can see it's on automatic, so it's already automatically selected gas. But you just hold this button here to cycle through. So you've got auto, which will automatically select gas, or it'll automatically select whatever best power source at the time. It'll also change to 12 volt when you start the engine automatically, so you don't have to remember to do it. But if you want to manually change it, you just hold this button in. You can manually try changing it. So I've selected battery here now. You can see the blue light is flashing to indicate there's a fault. That's just because the van's not started. So you can just cycle through them. We're also not plugged in, but you can see the 240 selected and it's flashing to say there's a fault. And the temperature control is on this side. So you just tap that button until you get it where you want it. The bar at its fullest, making the fridge the coldest. And then if you're just not using the fridge, you just want to power it down completely, just hold this wee rectangular button again for a few seconds, and that's it, completely powered down. Just moved along to the heating system. So on the side of your kitchen counter you have a dial here. This dial is to pick the source of power you want for your heating. So the one that's on at the minute, the center one, just the flame, that's below heating by itself. If I was to click one up here, that's electric low, and the 2-line one is electric high. Or you can have it so you have gas and electric low and gas and electric high. And then so I've selected gas there now. So I move up here and I pick which side of the system I want to activate. So the center here is the off position. So if I was to move it up here, this would be 40 degrees hot water, and then up further again is 60 degrees hot water. 60 degrees you only use for a shower usually. And then to move it down past here, this is below heating by itself, and then below heating with 60 degrees hot water. And in the center of the gauge, you can see this green light here. This is just a wee indicator of what temperature you want to set it at. And when the orange light is lit up, it means that the water heater system is activated. That light will come on when it's on, and it'll go off when the water reaches temperature, and it'll come back on as it's needed to regulate the temperature. And then just to turn the system off completely, just put it to that center dial there. So in this van, to activate your gas inside the van here, you actually have an electronic switch, because the gas actually has an electronic valve on it as well. So just to turn on your gas, after you've turned it on at the bottle, which I'll show you now in a moment, you just turn on that switch there, and that just activates the gas and opens the valve to let it into the van. So moving along here now, I'm just going to show you your front bed made up. And I'm just going to pause the video now for a wee second. I'll take the cushions off just so you can see how it's done. So on the front of the table, on the underside of it, there's a little lever that you rotate, and you can push the table down and then just tighten it up again. This piece here, which is an add-on to the side of the seats, is located in the garage. On the driver's side of the van, you have your garage door, your awning handle, your awning support bar, your bed extension, your lead, and your hose for your outdoor shower point. This is just the exhaust for the heating system. It's your outdoor shower point. If you go straight under your outdoor shower point, you've got your wastewater pipe with the tap just on the right hand side of it to open and close it. So I've moved around to the passenger side of your van. This first wheel locker here is for your toilet cassette. To release the cassette, lift up that orange tab and slide it towards you. And you can remove it from the van. For emptying the cassette, you just swivel that around, take that cap off and empty it down the drain through that. And that just swivels back in. And you just push it into that wee tab, pushes back down into place. Also in beside your toilet cassette is your valve for emptying your freshwater tank. Down in that hole there, that white lever, you just lift it up till it's standing up straight, and that'll empty all the fresh water out of your freshwater tank if you're not using the van. Further up the van we have your gas locker. So to open your cylinder, turn this fully anti-clockwise. You've got 2 cylinders in the van. There's also a changeover valve, which is this wee boy here. So the green one has selected the left cylinder, which I've just turned on. If this was to run out, simply turn this around to the other side and then open this cylinder. And just make sure when you go inside the van that you turn on the electronic switch that I showed previously in the video. And then before travelling, we recommend fully closing your cylinders just for safety. So just above your toilet cassette door is your water fill point for your fresh water and your 240 plug-in point. I'll move on up now and show you just under the engine bay. Your bonnet pull is just inside the van on the passenger side of the dash. So with the bonnet up, you've got your screen wash, coolant, brake fluid, and then down the front of the engine, just this wee red tab here is your dipstick for checking the oil. I've just moved back into the van in regards to emptying your water system. So I've just showed you outside how to empty the freshwater tank, but if you actually want to empty the hot water system, it's a wee bit awkward to see now, but down in this hole here there's a frost valve, it's called, or a drop valve, and this is for dropping the water out of your water heating system. So to open it, that diamond shaped tab on the top, you turn it 90 degrees. When it turns 90 degrees, this small circle blue button on the bottom will pop out also. This will empty all the water out of your water heating system. And to close the valve again, simply turn it back to the position it's in now, and then just push the blue button in. And just across from that, under the main bed, you've got your charging box, which you don't have to do anything with. You've got your trip switches for your 240 system, same as what would be in a household, and you've got your fuses for the habitation area. Just on the driver's side of the bed, there's a hatch in the floor where you'll find your 2 leisure batteries.